Alright, back to business here. To better enjoy the reading, we suggest you read this ebook, viewing it one page at a time in simple page mode. This is the second volume of the saga, the first being Rambo Year 1. Baker Team B. Now, he dives into this really cool little section where he really briefly reintroduces the characters from the first book. So we begin with Lawrence Tiger Krakauer. Now they have their team names in there also. Very thin and with black hair, during the selection process, Krakauer never stopped, even in front of impossible tasks, sometimes fighting against his instructors too. He is moved by a limitless ambition, but no one knows anything about his past or his family. Once again, sorry for my reading, people. I've had this cold for a couple of weeks now. I can't shake it, and it's hard to breathe. As Rocky would say, it's kind of hard to breathe. You know, sometimes it's hard to breathe. My throat's all closed up, and my nose, my sinuses are destroyed. So, don't feel disgusted if I do that. You know, it's gonna happen. So, all right. Barry the Snake Delmore. Delmore Barry is an African man that has already fought in Vietnam. He is tall and thin, but broad shoulders, which, together with his height, make him an imposing look. Has short curly hair and a light face features, probably of North Africa origins. During his first tour of duty in Vietnam, he had powerlessly face the torture and execution of a 19-year-old comrade. I gotta say, that opening to that book still haunts me to this day. It is classic. Manuel Scorpio Ortega. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. Let me take off my sweater. Maybe that's giving me like an allergistic touch here. Hold on. Let's do this right, people. Let's do this right. Manuel Ortega has the average height and brown hair. He has been in Vietnam already, and his duty was to be armed guardsman on board of a heli ambulance. And this was when he had to see many deaths. After his return in the United States, he suffered from insomnia, nightmares, and some sort of overall discomfort feeling that pushed him to volunteer again. His decision, by the way, made his girlfriend Helen leave him, even if the two of them still loved each other. Ortega comes from a good family and went to a good school before joining the army, and this makes him one of the most well-educated members of the Baker team. He is very close to his stepbrother Richard. They have the same father with different mothers, even if he has a lot of envy because of Manuel's military career. Gotta love that brother on brother collide. It makes me miss my brother. Hopefully I'll see him at my wedding, coming this summer to a chapel near you. Can't wait for that. I'm so lucky to have Melissa. So lucky. Melissa wanted to direct this episode, but unfortunately she couldn't. So she'll probably direct one of the next ones. Let's get to it. Let's get back to it. Carl Grizzly Jurgensen. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Carl Grizzly Jurgensen. Hold on, my iPad conked out. Sorry for that, people. Blonde and with blue eyes, like if he was of German descent. Carl is short but stout. He spent his youth working in his father's sawmill shop, which is the reason he grew up so muscular. Living in a almost poor state and skipping school the sooner he could, in order to work. After joining the Marine Corps, he met Mary during a Marines ball, the daughter of a general, and it was love at first sight. And despite the clash with her powerful parents, he never fought before. During year 1, he punches Ortega during a crisis, causing him to cut his tongue. I highly suggest everybody go back and read year 1. I'm going to talk to Wallace, and maybe if this little experiment works out that we're doing right now, maybe we'll do year 1 like this. The whole fucking book. That would be amazing. Imagine that. I'm going to try to set it up. Wallace, if you're listening, and I know you are, help a brother out. Let's do the whole book like this. And then later on, let's do the audio book with all the pages inside and everything like that. That'd be impressively cool. I would be honored to do that for you. Ricardo, Sniper, Coletta. Coletta was born and used to live in a small mountain town. He comes from a normal family, and he is very close to his father that taught him hunting and so the love for it. When he was 14, he put his life at risk during a bear hunt, and the episode changed his life forever. During year 1, he got pneumonia sick and barely passed the selection process. Very tough. And what I would say is a lot of the heart of year 1 dealt with Coletta. And it kind of brought the team together. It kind of forced them to hash out their differences physically and mentally between each other, and then kind of brings the team together to embrace the brotherhood and what it was really about. They started realizing, okay, this is not going to be easy, and this is life or death, and this is no joke. And I find that really brought them together. Really brought them to this apex of, if we're going to do this, we have to do it right. We have to all work as one. There's no I in team. It really has to be a joint effort. Everyone has to know everybody's shit. If something happens to one of us, we have to take over for that one. Really unit. Really unit. It's like your hand. It's like a fist. You break one finger, you still got the other 4 to hold on. Very powerful. Daniel Doc Mesner. Mesner was already born in Vietnam, but never fought on the front line. Mesner has already been in Vietnam, but never on the front line. He became an expert in advanced first aid war techniques, and once back in the U.S., he used to work in the town's emergency room there. Abusing his role, became a drug addict, and started a love affair with a chief physician of the hospital. Linda later decided to leave him in order to stay with his husband, and he, left by the woman he was still in love with, decided to join the army again, but this time as a special forces soldier.